Hello there folks, again this is Ferengi on board. Welcome to my YouTube channel in which I discuss certain things, dive deep into different matters, and I try to dive deeper than the surface level, which is kind of gonna become my trademark. I'm actually starting to have more and more fun on making such videos, because dream interpretation is something that I really love. Now, at the same time, I try to make people understand that you don't have and you shouldn't rush to take my interpretations for granted, because, well, the point is very simple. Okay, um, each dream is tailored for the person that has them. Okay, so the point is, when you have a dream, only you are the only person who can actually understand that. When you dream of animals, it can be a visit from a spirit animal, a totem animal, a dark totem animal, or a shadow totem, I think. I kind of forgot those names. There are some spirit animals that support us, and each one of them has a certain purpose and represents a part of us. We have multiple vibrations, and based on those, we will align ourselves with, let's say, some animals, and probably we can even dream those. There are some, like tribal beliefs, okay, and I think they actually have more foundation than just being a belief, because a belief is nothing else than accepting something without proof, or something to support it, which is unfortunately what many people do nowadays. So the point is, they believe there are numerous such, and I think they're well founded, uh, ideas that each animal actually serves as a medicine. Spiritually speaking, each animal has a medicine that if you get to learn, it can actually help you a lot. Now, of course, there are a lot of animals, and I don't know if every person would become that introspective, and but the power of introspection is actually very great. It is something that if the whole planet would meditate together for, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours, I think, but even half an hour, I think, if the whole population wandered in meditation, not necessarily meditation, just introspection, okay, for at least half an hour, I'd say, most diseases into the world will simply vanish. The power of thoughts can actually be that great, but it's just people who, like, they're believing, again, taking things without, fighting back, without, you know, asking, without putting questions, right? Without a necessity for proof. And, well, it kind of sucks, okay? Now, let's see. So I have made a previous video on a black puppy, again, as, a Quora request. And the point is that, okay, so dogs in general can mean a lot of things, okay? Like, all animals have multiple meanings. Although people will tell you one or other thing, don't hurry to take what people will say, because again, dreams are about understanding your own truth. Whenever you have dreams, especially lucid dreams and the such, they are a reminder that the truth is within you, not outside. People can help you with some interpretations, but the more introspective people become, the less they are inclined to help others, because through introspection they have realized that they are experiencing their own truth in this world, and their own truth might not necessarily apply to others. That is why you'll see very few introspective people to help you. And they also can't help you because we all experience life in a different way. Whatever experiences they go through, they have tailored the possibilities for those things to happen to them before they were born. So every dream is kind of a reminder of that you came here to do better things. Now, dogs can mean a lot of things, and in my case it can mean, and I think they have to do a bit with, in a way, loyalty, or a lack of loyalty. It can actually mean some sort of protectiveness, or a sort of powerful attachment, usually physical attachments, like you are very attached to some person, but more like physically attached because you kind of need that person. Okay, dogs are kind of, you know, very few, just like in our society, very few individuals in any race are naturally born leaders. And usually the dog is more like symbolic of the follower rather than a leader. Like when you speak of the lion, you speak of a, um, like naturally born leader, right? The lion is not called the king of the jungle for nothing, right? And when you think about dogs, usually people think about reason, because, to have a dog's soul, which might be in a way true, because, dogs are animals, so they will always follow their oh my god, this is something that I actually made a video for. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so it can also mean that you're kind of chasing your own tail, probably. So when you are attacked by a dog, it's probably a reminder that you're kind of doing things too repetitively, maybe. You're kind of caught in a loop and you wish to escape from that, and probably you're not doing anything to make things better in your life. So you're just being reminded by this that, hey, you know what? You just have to kind of escape from this situation, right? Now, if a dream becomes repetitive or a certain symbol becomes repetitive, it means that you are kind of lacking that aspect, okay? We are born into this world, and the things we are taught, our spirit guides also get acquainted to that, because we kind of chose to experience these things, and they won't necessarily, manifest the same way that we chose, but they will usually happen similar to that, because the universe won't allow it otherwise. So anything that happens to you, it happens because it was chosen, or because you allowed it in your life through your ways of thinking. Okay, so we are taught that, when we don't have certain things, we put a big importance on them. That is why consumerism is so successful. It's a very big psychology behind that, because when you have people that, they live in scarcity, which is a mindset, not a situation. Okay, when people think of scarcity, they will place all sorts of stupid importance. Okay, they will want all sorts of things to buy, because people naturally want to buy. They want to feel appreciated in a way, but they just realize afterwards that they won't be needing those things. But again, they will just fool themselves again, and they will buy again and again and again. Like, I bet you that after the Kant virus, breaks down, like, it's probably gonna take a while, but okay, I don't mind it. I'm an introspective person, so I simply don't mind it. Okay, well, all I can say is this: so many things will actually boom, because suddenly people will just want to buy all sorts of stuff, but afterwards things most likely will start dwindling. So our spirit guides know probably this, so they will put emphasis on that, because, well, what we don't have is something that we place importance on. And since we're not cultivating ourselves, and we don't know ourselves like almost at all, once we get access to that, we kind of no longer need it. We no longer want it, more or less. So when you see a dog attacking you, think about all the details. Okay, were you actually scared? Now, there are other awkward questions that I might ask you. For example, were you actually the dog itself, and you, or what you saw, were more like a reflection of a fear of yourself that you, represented by the dog, attacked and released? Okay, many dreams in which you are attacked usually represent releasing a fear, a big fear, or something that was keeping you locked in a kind of bondage towards a certain idea. Okay, you are afraid or inhibited by a certain idea. Okay, it can be that that idea was supported by some parasitic entities. Okay, and these entities would have tried a last ditch attack before the idea was simply oh really now, thank you but no thanks. Okay, That's kind of a friend bot that's been spamming me for quite a while. Okay, so it actually took me a while, and like I was actually feeling happy a bit because there were these people who were always like cheering me up, and like I kind of have realized that I was speaking with nobody, and it felt a bit disheartening, I could say. I actually didn't feel like that, but um, so yeah, when you are attacked by animals, don't take dreams as that, okay? Because if it is not a vivid dream, if it is just a simple dream, the dream is nothing else than an interpretation. Whatever you see and perceive when consciousness leaves, okay, and it can happen in several things, in several ways, when it comes back, it most likely has experienced things beyond this realm, so therefore it's not gonna make any sense to your logical mind because it's gonna be of an outer dimension. So okay, each dimension can only be experienced when you have a body specifically tailored for that, and once you use such a body, you will be adapted to the perceptional capabilities of that body. Okay, when you leave that body, you have lost all awareness of that dimension. So when you come back and you wake up, I mean before you wake up, usually dreams happen somewhere around then or a long while before you wake up, depends on individual and situation. It is actually downloaded through your seventh chakra, and then it is translated for the mind. But come again, it's just that, I mean, it's just an interpretation. It's not something that actually happened, okay, unless you've done some specific rituals or you have done some initiations in which you can do lucid dreamings. Okay, don't try to do that without initiation because things can get ugly in certain situations, especially with the fear that most people believe in and freely accept almost. Don't hurry in this because you're gonna draw a lot of trouble in your life, or you can. Okay, don't take it as a must. Dogs can also mean like chasing your own tail. You're like caught in a loop, right? You're desperately trying to escape from something, okay? Being attacked is usually a way in which your attention is drawn that something might actually impact you, okay? It can actually be the result of simply your imagination, okay? Because you should also take this into account as well. Not all these dreams that people have with things attacking them are necessarily real. So many people watch a lot of shit, okay, like literally a lot of shit. They watch the news, they fear a lot of things, and then these can actually, manifest in your imagination because your imagination is an extension of what you feed your mind with. So if you feed your mind with memes, with whatever that is, like lower vibrational, and I have a video on the dark meaning of memes, and I'm also intending to create another one. The point is, your imagination will work based on that. So also mind what sources you are feeding your mind with, okay? Because those are the things that most likely you are going to invite in your life. The dog can actually be a sign of followers, okay? And a dog attacking you is a signal that you need to start taking back your power, no longer be a people pleaser, okay? Because interpret things in much more than just what you visually see, okay? In my case, I can even smell, or I can read things at times, or I can like physically feel, okay, like touch, sense of touch in some dreams, okay? Don't feel bad about this, okay? Each and every person is at a certain stage of spiritual development, okay? I know I'm, kind of this awkward construct, but that's who I am, and I just prefer leaving the mysteries where they are. Breaking them will not help me become any way better, because they're doing the work for me and I'm getting the results that I need. That's everything that I need. I don't need anything else. So dogs can be this, okay? You can actually be the fear that you as the dog attacked, okay? This is another interpretation that I bring. So with this, all I can say is very simple. Usually dreams when you are attacked, I think I actually said this before, but I will repeat it again just to be sure. They are a sign of something that's being purged. The planet has, I think, fully developed to the level of 5D consciousness, and every living being in here is also developing. With that, there are also gonna be like improvements even in the physical immunity system and all sorts of things. Many diseases will start to naturally dwindle because when vibrations improve, simply everything that is lower vibrational will be deleted one way or another. People who refuse to embrace this development, they will simply run crazy because their lower vibration will become incompatible with the increasingly positive vibes. That is why for a while you will see a lot more criminality, a lot more desperate people, and yes, this will actually happen, okay? So with this being said, the dog can actually be a sign of, like you should take your power back, no longer people please, and start taking your power into your own hands and start taking responsibility, okay? Because many people nowadays just blame others, and blaming others and responsibility are two things that never go together, okay? It's probably a sign that you should start doing something with your life, maybe. Again, dreams are tailored for each and every individual, okay? These are just interpretations that on the spur of the moment they come, okay, because I'm a bit into a flow state now, and like these ideas keep popping up, and I'm a bit warmed up now that I made the previous video, which again I made as a response to someone's question on Quora. And yeah, it can also be a sign of friendship, okay? When an entity attacks, okay, what is the reason of the attack, okay? Like, do you remember anything? Did you do something to that dog that it attacked you? Probably it is a sign that reminds you that you need better boundaries with people, okay? You have to fight for the borders because people will always treat you the way you teach them to treat you. If they do bad things to you and you just lower your head, they're still gonna do that. So it's probably a reminder that you shouldn't be a doormat to other people, okay? Now, the dog can also be a sign, as if I interpret, okay, so it's a personal interpretation, okay, don't take it for granted necessarily. It can be a sign of powerful attachments, okay, because dogs are very attachy, right? They are very attached in the packs that they are. And attachment is something good in a way, but it's also not something good because attachment exists when there is something to gain, because attachment is an initial form of love. Now, one thing that people don't know about dogs is that dogs don't like you, okay? They don't love you, they don't like you because they are animals, and animals will always care for themselves first. Because dogs are loyal, don't take this badly, okay? But animals will always think for themselves because they are free of the illusions that we have been creating, okay? They also have their misconceptions, yes, but there are much less because they are not that aware as we are, okay? We have chosen to experience life in here and be this aware, at least this aware. So that is why the universe allowed us as people to become the more aware race of this planet only, okay? Because we're definitely not the wisest in this universe. Thinking this is sheer madness. And, attachment always happens when there is a sense of need. And when there is a sense of, someone giving you instant gratification. Because that is what a specific of dogs is. Now, canines are actually the most robust animals, okay? They can literally forage food each day, and even each day walk 30, 40, even 50 kilometers. So imagine being capable of walking 40, even 50, quite even 60 kilometers per day to seek food. That's, for example, how much wolves can move in order to find food, okay? And wolves, what people don't know exactly is that they are actually solitary beings. That is why the expression solitary wolf, okay? They are together because, they are a pack and they have societal hierarchy, okay? And they have to strengthen the bonds, but usually when they hunt, and most of the time they will spend hunting, if not together with the pack, but when they go hunting, they will usually hunt for critters and things that are smaller than themselves. When the hunger is big, they will also hunt in a pack. When intrusions are detected, they will start howling to call for the others, okay? But they usually forage alone, okay, and dogs can actually do that as well. But instant gratification is much more important to everything, especially if their awareness is lower. That is why so many people will take advantage of you, because it is much easier to exploit someone than do the whole work yourself. Don't lie yourself. We've all been doing this at least once in our life, especially when we were younger and less aware. And dogs actually do that. Don't think that dogs actually like you, because they don't even know you. They don't care necessarily about you, but they just waggle their tail and they piss their eyes, they make those big puppy eyes, and they just do it because they see you as a sucker. Now literally, if you don't believe me, go and watch it on the internet. Speak with people who have trained dogs and they will tell you that. If they can't tell you this, well, they're probably the slaves of dogs. Because what I see nowadays is that usually the dogs are the masters, and the so-called masters are just their slaves. Many people take dogs in their lives just because they need, they think they need a slave. They just need something around them. But if you don't care for yourself, you won't care for anything else. What happens in the real world is an extension of what you are on the inside. If you don't care about yourself, don't lie to yourself that you're gonna take a puppy or you're gonna take someone in your life and you're gonna care more for them than you. If you're doing that, you're requesting things for them. You're only doing that because you're wanting something in return. Okay? Maybe you're not aware of this enough, but if you become more introspective, you'll see that I'm right. Okay? And dogs know that, when they do that, okay, and they start crying, it's the exact thing that people do to you. So many people do emotional assaults against you. They use emotions against you, like narcissistic traits, right? Narcissistic people, they will always cry, they will always beg, most likely, but all they want is control over you, because the moment you give in, that's the moment when they win, right? Whoever controls you, well, you're kind of allowing them to control you, because there is no such thing as control over someone else. It's only something like doing pressure against a person sufficiently that they just cede their control, okay, and they let others control them. And dogs are a reminder that you kind of are an emotional sucker, because everything in life is meant to give you a lesson, okay? If dogs come to you and say, oh, he's such a nice puppy, and you give him your food, it's not a bad thing. But remember one thing, and the most important core thing, they're doing that because, instant gratification. Instead of actually looking for the food, it's much easier to find the right sucker, the right human, to give them food. Because probably they're also knowledgeable that humans can procure their own food while they have to be, literally foraging for that, so it can be a little victimization as well, okay? Don't take animals like being immune to that, okay? But usually this is also a sign. Now, of course, dogs can also be, like truthful, yes, surely they will remember you if you help them, okay? Like, don't view dogs as, evil, although black dogs are kind of considered evil in dreams, but I don't generalize. I don't like it. I simply don't accept generalization. Okay, so I don't want to continue too long with this. Hopefully this helped and, provided you some insight on what the dream could mean. Until next time, remember you are loved and appreciated. If you like this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to see other videos that I have created. And, well, until next time, Ferenc on board signing out.